Steven!
Steven's one of my favorite humans, and he's here!
Yes!
Steven is here today to talk to us about Till As Old As Time.
Product placement.
Steven loves Disney. He very graciously brought his Disney mug for me to sip on.
And my Disney sweater for me to wear.
So Steven, when was the moment you fell in love with Beauty and the Beast?
Well, I remember the first Disney movie I ever saw in theaters was The Lion King, and it was a drive-in movie theater. Yeah. So I remember crawling up to the front, and that's when I fell in love with Disney. Beauty and the Beast, I was too little to see it in theaters, but I remember when we got it on VHS. Remember when they had like those like plastic booklets? I think we still have them at home somewhere. I just think it's one of the most perfectly crafted films, not just in animation, but just in general. And my heart just really connected, I think, with the Beast and his story, but even more so with Belle, which I think is sort of overlooked, where the Beast, we really get that he's isolated, but Belle also shares that isolation.
Yes.
And anyway, blah, 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 blah.
We could write a dissertation.
Let's do it. I know, right? This is where my...
about Beauty and the Beast.
But anyway, so I loved it. It was one of the first musicals I ever did. I was the Beast in high school.
So Steven's really cool and special and got to already see the new live-action Beauty and the Beast coming out in a special screening, and he's gonna go frame by frame and tell us everything that happened.
Roll clip. Where do we go?
Can you tell us maybe, I don't know, how you felt? How you got to be there?
Yes. I will happily tell you the tale, which is as old as time. I'm part of the official Disney fan club, which is called D23. I was scrolling through Facebook and I happened upon this site through the D23 fan page that said that if you're a member with the club, you could go see an early screening in Denver. I contacted a friend and I said, do you want to go? He said yes. So it just sort of all happened really fast in a really exciting way. So we flew out to Denver. We got to go to this luncheon with some shareholders from Disney and some huge fans. It was like the bougiest, most exclusive thing I've ever been to. The dessert spread was incredible, and they had these chocolate sculptures of Cogsworth and Lumiere.
What?
Right? It was very, very fancy, and I show up in like...
part did you eat?
No, you didn't eat them because you just stared at them.
Just gazed in the glory.
That's what I did. Maybe someone went and grabbed an arm or something.
I would have gnawed at the foot.
But they had security everywhere, so I feel like if I had done that, then they wouldn't have let me see the movie. I was nervous going in because at the time when I went in, critics were already saying things about it. I was very worried about what they would do with it, but I will say I loved this movie. I don't know if it's their best live adaptation, but I think it is near perfect. Because I think, and the reason why is because it's a labor of love from fans to fans, because everyone that was a part of that film, I think grew up loving those characters, loving that music. In movies, I'll get emotional, your throat gets really tight and you kind of feel your eyes burning a little bit. That happens to me a lot in films, but I rarely become inconsolable and do the Kim Kardashian cry. But that was me every 5 minutes. And the first time it happened was when Belle, or Emma Watson, who was great, by the way, sweet
angel child.
That will be a spoiler, I think, but I think people will love her. But when she sings that first verse in Belle, where she has the book at the fountain, I was sobbing because it was that moment.
I just got chills.
Right?
In my body.
Goosebumps. The moment for me that made me cry the hardest and that I just thought was the most perfectly crafted moment in the film was the ballroom scene, for sure. And I don't want to spoil things, but the way they lead into it and the way that Dan Stevens was, I think, the most surprising performance. He did incredible. And the way he just looks at her and is enamored by her, it's perfect.
So I'm excited about this movie because when Beauty and the Beast came out, Disney was actually kind of suffering, weren't they? And Black Cauldron didn't do too well, and they did.
Film that must not be named.
Don't talk about it. But then these group of very talented men got together and made this movie. And I remember a story because there's a brilliant documentary called Waking Sleeping Beauty.
which I want to see.
I have it, you can borrow it. The man who made the movie actually contracted AIDS.
Oh, Howard Ashman.
Ashman. And got very sick. And they showed it, I think, at the Cannes Film Festival or Toronto, a big deal film festival. And by the end, everyone was like on their feet, like cheering and crying for this animated movie. And then they went back and told Howard, kind of on his like deathbed, and he just said like, I knew it'd always be successful. And then he passed away with the knowledge that everyone loved his movie, and I just thought that was so beautiful, and that kind of pure love towards a project I think was in the original, and I think it sounds like it's being like blended to this one. Like what Emma has done with Belle, I've heard she's made her like very strong, that she like has a job, that she's very imaginative and inventive, and I think that's what's needed right now for girls coming up, and I'm just so grateful to her for giving her input. Like she didn't have to say, hey, I want Belle to be strong, but she did. And I'm so grateful for that.
The animated film, obviously the characters are you okay?
Oh no! Over myself. I'm so excited about it.
I think the original film, it's very colorful, it's very animated. Obviously, that was an intentional pun, sorry. But it was very lively, and I think this film, the production design was incredible. All of the set pieces in the Beast Castle and the village, it's all live. And I think that worked in the film's favor because all the enchanted objects are CGI. The Beast is CGI. The film takes more of a historical Gothic approach to the design. And it worked very, very well, I think, because it was a very cohesive approach to how they wanted the characters to be lively in the castle. So if you're used to Mrs. Potts being sort of round and warm, it's still there in Emma Thompson's performance, I think. But in the design, it's a little bit different because I think it's rooted more in what did teapots actually look like during whatever century
the
was.
French Renaissance?
That's what it is now.
Sorry, French.
Yeah, sorry.
We're sorry. We don't know. That's all I have to ask you. You are the best at this.
Stop. No. And I have to say, you were just so lovely on the show. I watch every week, and I'm so grateful that you let me come be a part of this. So thank you, and you're cool.
I paid Steven to say that.
No, she didn't.
No.
But I mean, if you will be paid, I will gladly accept.
I'm very poor. But go see Beauty and the Beast on, what month are we in?
March
17th, right?
Yeah, look at you, March 17th, yes.
I do my research sometimes. Thank you. Well, Steven, I love you. Thank you for coming.
I love you too. Thank you. Truly, I have loved being here.
Come click with me.
Yes, okay.
Tale as old as time.
Yay!
Song as old as rhyme.
Murden.